So, should you grow your own cannabis or just buy it from a dispensary? It's a huge question, a debate that's been going on in the cannabis community forever. In this explainer, we're going to break down the pros and cons of each so you can figure out which path is the right one for you.
The Wake and Bake Lounge really hit the nail on the head with this one. It's kind of like deciding between cooking a gourmet meal at home or just hitting up your favorite restaurant. It really is that choice between the deep, personal satisfaction of creating something yourself and the pure, simple convenience of having it ready to go. Let's take a closer look at what that really means when we're talking about cannabis.
All right, let's dive right in and start with that gourmet meal option, growing your own. For a lot of enthusiasts, this is where the real magic is. So, what's the big appeal of getting your hands dirty? I mean, there's just this incredible satisfaction that comes from nurturing a plant all the way from a tiny seed to a full harvest. As the Wake and Make Lounge puts it, it's the ultimate flex in the cannabis world. It's proof of your patience, your skill, and your dedication. And the reward? A product that is truly 100% your own. So, what are the actual perks of doing it yourself? Well, first off, you get total control. And I mean everything. The exact strain you grow, the nutrients you use, the whole shebang. Want to go fully organic? You got it. Second, it can be incredibly cost-effective. Yeah, there's an initial investment, but in the long run, you're saving a ton. And third, it can be a really rewarding and even therapeutic hobby. It's a process with a seriously great payoff at the end. Okay, so growing your own sounds like a dream, right? What could possibly go wrong? Well, before you rush out to buy a bunch of seeds and soil, let's talk about the reality of home cultivation. For starters, there's the time and effort. Let's be real, growing cannabis is a serious commitment. It's not like watering a houseplant once a week. You'll be dedicating time every single day to watering, feeding, and just generally checking on your plants. Then you've got the legal side of things. The laws for growing at home can vary wildly depending on where you live, so you absolutely have to do your research. And finally, yeah, there's the cost of getting started. You're going to need to invest in gear like lights, fans, and filters to create that perfect growing environment. Okay, so we've talked about the home chef. Now let's flip the coin and talk about the other option, just buying from a dispensary. For so many people, this is the easiest, most accessible way to get cannabis. So what are the upsides of going the dispensary route? Let's go back to that analogy. If growing is like cooking that fancy meal, then buying from a dispensary is like ordering takeout. It's fast, it's easy, and you know exactly what you're going to get. So, what are the big perks here? Well, the biggest one is obviously convenience. You can walk in and walk out with your favorite products in just a few minutes. No waiting for months. Second, there's the sheer variety. Dispensaries have this huge selection of strains, edibles, concentrates, stuff that would be pretty much impossible to replicate at home. And third, you get quality assurance. All the products are tested for potency and safety, so you know exactly what you're consuming. So, with all that going for it, buying seems like a slam dunk, doesn't it? Well, not so fast. There are definitely a few downsides to consider before you hand over your cash. All right, let's talk about the big one, the cost. It's no secret that dispensary prices can be, well, pretty steep, especially once you factor in all the taxes. Second, you have limited control. You're basically at the mercy of whatever the dispensary has in stock, and sometimes the quality can be hit or miss. And third, there can be supply chain issues. Your favorite strain might just not be there the next time you visit. Or maybe the quality isn't quite the same as the last batch you got. Okay, let's just pause here for a second and look at this side by side. The grower's path gives you total control and long-term savings, but it's a ton of effort. The buyer's path, on the other hand, gives you that huge variety and immediate convenience, but it comes with a high cost. It really is that classic trade-off between your time and your money. So, after all that, where do we land? The grower's path or the buyer's path? Well, according to the Wake and Bake Lounge, maybe that's the wrong question to be asking in the first place. They basically ask, hey, why do you have to choose? They suggest that maybe the best approach isn't so black and white. Why not enjoy the benefits of both growing and buying? So, what does this hybrid approach actually look like? Well, you could start small. Try growing just a plant or two to get a feel for the process and really appreciate it. Then, you can supplement what you grow with products from your local dispensary. Use them to try new things or for when you just need that convenience. The whole key is to find a balance that works for you, your lifestyle, and your situation. At the end of the day, there's no single right answer here. This decision to grow or to buy is a super personal one. It's not about which one is better, it's all about finding what works for you. It's about enjoying the journey. So the real question is, how will you begin yours?